So it's Andy picking from Man Beast Strongman events, and tonight I have the Peak District Highland Game champion 2021, Dave Thornton. Hello, Dave.
Hello, Mr. Picking.
So how do you feel then after Sunday's exploits?
Well, I'm not bad actually, just a bit tired from the last event. But I think we all are, because it was a killer.
To be honest with you, what an event that was. I mean, I think the Dinny Stones, or the honorary Dinny Stones as they call them there, is pretty much becoming a signature event there. The crowd absolutely love it. You lot dread it, but actually it's the final event. If you're down to the wire, you're going to win it on that. And my God, Dave, I was completely shocked with how long you held them for. And it's a new record, isn't it? 1 minute, 13 seconds. I'll be honest with you, I didn't see Scott being beaten on that with the way he's been before.
You didn't see him being beaten, I didn't.
No. When I got handed that results sheet, and I'm happy for anybody that wins, obviously, and going into the competition, I did actually think Jake ride out, Scott obviously up there on podium, and third I didn't know, but I definitely had Jake and Scott first and second, and Jake was taking it really seriously. When I got handed the sheet before I announced it and I saw your name, and I did have a smile on my face, I'm not going to lie, because I thought he is going to just be completely shocked when I read this out.
Well, we both had Jake and Scott for the win, but I think both of our faces when I lifted Dinny Stones, if we were putting money on it, it'd have been, it's failing that. He's not even picking it up. And as soon as I put him down, your face was just a picture. And I'm like, how has this happened?
So I was genuinely happy for you, Dave, as well at the same time, because I didn't see you lifting him, to be honest. I thought, you might lift him up for 10 seconds. We know you've had some injuries. You hurt yourself at the Lincoln truck pull event, were you, the other month. But you can pull things out the bag, though. You've done it before. Sometimes you're not that consistent. You can be okay at one show, and then you come into another one and you just blitz it. And I think, blow me now, and you did that. It all just like the stars aligned on Sunday. And of course, you had your daughter Millie there as well in the women's category, so it was like a family affair.
Yeah, I'm going to start calling the Limelight Stealer.
Well, the world's strongest fan has got it on his Facebook page as well, hasn't he?
Well, all joking aside, she's hit it like a storm, because she's just come into it and everybody's so nice to her, and well, somebody's got to do it, haven't they?
But you know yourself, don't you, Dave, with this sport, you get the odd one or two, but generally people want to see everybody do well, don't they? And you'll run up and down the line and encourage each other. You had Mark Thompson helping Chloe with the honorary Dinny Stones, helping each other. You've got Ashton stretching you off. We can say that on the floor, and a bit of a wrestle. So you do get a lot of camaraderie between everybody, don't you? And you all have a laugh at the same time.
Yeah, I think I can speak for a few lads at the Highland Games here. We've all built quite a good base between the regulars, and we all got on so well. And it's not a matter of normal comps where you've got one bunch and then they go off and do that. I find the best thing at Highland Games, even if this is going out to somebody new, open your mouth and say hello, because everybody will talk to you. You need advice, you need picking up, you need anything. We all get behind each other, and it's just a family support unit. When we're on that field together, it is a team sport. Even though it's individual, we are there together, and everybody wants to do well and gets the support to do well. There's no bad blood between anybody to say, well, he got that and I should have got that. Well,
you'll get me building up a bit of rivalry sometimes, having a laugh. No animosity in it whatsoever, but just saying, yeah, we know Jake's been training well, or we know Mark Thompson's coming in this because he wants one over Jimmy Sharp, that's just a bit of generating a bit of excitement. But like you said, everybody wants everybody else to do the best they can, and you will encourage each other, won't you? So it's a fair level grounding for everybody then. And when you won on Sunday, there was absolutely no argument that you won that completely on your own merits. And on the throwing events, Dave, you've done the Highland Games events a few times. You've done Rotherham, haven't you? Your throwing events have got better and better. And again, I had Jake for the caber toss because he held the record on that, and he said, I'm going for 10 metres. We didn't go at 10 metres, but you got well over 9 metres and set a new record there.
Oh, it's fun to try, isn't it?
Yeah. Absolutely. And I think the stone throw, that went down to Scott, didn't it? But you placed high again. And this is what I'm saying. Within this competition, you placed solid on every event, bar the log press, the opening event, and then went and smashed those Dinny stones and then walked away with the title. So when I did get that score sheet, I did have a smirk on my face because I thought, you know what? He is going to be absolutely shocked. When I shout Scott's name out second, and then it dawns on you, it's you're going to be like...
It was just an amazing feeling because I've had it in a few competitions before when I've thought I've won, and I've been picked second or third. Usually a few bad people that mark the scores down and giving bad advice. But last few times I've not had high hopes for winning, except for this one. It's always nice to want to win. We don't turn up to lose, but we don't come away from Highland Games crying, saying, "Oh, I didn't win." We all give it a good go, but this one was just a good title to have, and especially taking it off Scott Litchfield, which I never saw coming.
No, I didn't. And do you remember that interview we had when you were in your truck before the Highland Games? And you said something like, Scott could be laid in a hospital bed a day before the competition and then get out of the hospital bed and just blitz a competition.
Well, I'm looking at them scorecards, and when you say count back, I don't think you've told the whole picture of just how close that was. Because that count back, I've got 6 events. I won 2, Scott won 2, and on the other 2 events that we didn't win, I'd come second and Scott had come third. Just that close. It was.
Yeah.
It's just amazing how close we were together that day.
Yeah. And it's that, that's all. Scott is always going to be a strong competitor in any field to me. We've seen him, haven't we? I've seen him time and time again. And he's just an incredibly strong guy. He takes it seriously. And he's agile as well. He's quick. And he was on his game. I didn't see necessarily any weaknesses in Scott. I didn't think Jake did as well as he potentially could. I don't know why. I think Jake had something else in him. It just didn't go his way. But Scott was as strong as ever. But then you were on your game as well, Dave, and it was level pegging, and it came down to the Dinny Stones. The difference is when I was watching you, and I've just had a chat with Chloe about her Dinny Stone thing, which were that was just amazing. She positioned herself. She took her time in lifting the stones up, and what she said to me is, because she's lifted the original Dinny Stones in Scotland, is she likes to lift them really smoothly so they didn't shake. Now, when you lifted yours was the same. Your stones were rock steady. The other guys, when they lifted them, most of them, they were wobbling about, and you're just loosening your grip all the time and pulling on your hands. When you lifted that, it was so smooth. I still didn't expect anywhere near the time you got, but you'd lifted it so smooth, very similar to what Chloe did, and Matt Cole as well, the under 105. I thought he did fantastic on that event as well.
When it comes down to them Dinny Stones, I've got, that way around, 2 people to thank. First of all, I've got to thank Mark Thompson, because when I walked up to that platform, it were, what do I do? I've not done this before. Come on. And I'm looking at Mark like, Mark Anglesey going, what do I do? Nope, won't help me. So I'm like, Mark, can you help us, please? And he came up and he talked me through the lift. He says, you want the stones in that position, hands there. We had a bit of a tussle with, I want me strap underneath, not over. underneath. Come on back, underneath. But we got that sorted. And the second person, I could be wrong, but I do believe I saw it in the comment section that Chloe Brennan spoke. I don't know what page it was because I'm forgetful more than I am rememberable. But she said to lift these dinny stones, you don't treat it like a deadlift. You've got to get into position and squat the dinny stones up. And I took that in and I thought, right, don't snatch it, just try and stand up with it. And then when I stood up with it, the leading stone was just perfect on my leg. And I could just nudge it into position. And I just stood there and it started getting harder, then easier. And then I could feel my right bicep getting a bit tight. And then it were, I think, around about 40 seconds, some bloke on a microphone started shouting. And I'm like, you what, Mark? Didn't quite hear that one. So I'm like, I had a set figure about 45 seconds roughly to beat because a few people were around about that mark. And then it got to 50. And I thought, you know what? This bicep, is it worth it? And then this man on this microphone's there going, oh, a minute for him. Oh, that'd be really good. I think it'd really make his day if he could get to a minute. I thought, you know what? It would. I really want this 1 minute. So I stood there and I gritted my teeth and it was like, yeah, just get this 1 minute. And as soon as I heard Mark shout, that's 1 minute. But easy this. I'm having that bloody record. Let's stand here for a bit. So I got to 110 and went 1, 2, 3 and put it down. And that was my dinner stones. It got easier. I thought.
It was just amazing because we were watching you and I was looking from where I was, so I was just slightly behind you, waiting for maybe your grip to go, just to put it down like some of the other guys did. But you were just so smooth. You were fixed in that position. It like you'd had concrete poured on you. You were just rock solid there. And I thought, and I was watching the clock, and when Matt lifted his 110, I thought, I couldn't believe, I didn't expect Scott's 108 to be beaten anyway. When he got 110, I was like, wow, well, that's that over with the men's. He's won that. And then up steps Dave Thornton, who always surprises me, pulls something out of the bag most times, and you go pull that one out of the bag on probably the most dreaded event for most of them, to be honest, to finish on.
Well, as soon as I did it, it was like, right, here comes Scott. And I laid down in front on grass, cheering him on, mind. Don't forget. And I wholeheartedly cheered him on, thinking, right, we're going to see a good time here. 120, maybe. Just because he dominates it. And I don't know how it's possible to beat him, but it's just one of those days. And next year.
And Scott's, the camaraderie again. I've seen the comments. Scott's put genuine comments between your messages on Facebook. They've seen you getting stronger and stronger each year, and you deserve your title. And I mean, that's a champion. He's won it twice before. He's very good at what he does, and he knows he is. But on that day, you stepped it up just that little level. Like you said, it was down to the wire. It was very, very, very close. But on that event, you weren't expected to do maybe too well in. You go and smash it out of the water, and everybody's just genuinely shocked. So we had Chloe shocking from a woman's point of view, and then Big Dave steps up, smashes that event, and then scoops the title as well.
Do you know what? You've got to find a new name because there's already a Big Dave at that competition. And that's
have I seen? Is it Big Dave Truck or Big Truck? Have you called yourself that before? Have I made that up?
There used to be someone on Facebook called Trucker Dave.
Was there? Why can't we have Big Truck Thornton?
Sounds like if you change the T to an F.
All right, yeah. You've got to be careful with that. Well, we'll have to come up with a name between us. We can have a vote on the athlete page for a new name, a new stage name for Dave. So reflecting back on the competition then, what's it like? And let's be honest, this show's got bigger and bigger each year, and it's been great to see. There's a lot of work goes in it behind the scenes and stuff, but I forget all that watching it as a fan as well. Even though I'm involved with it, me and Mark organise it, it's great to see it all come together. And the crowd to me on Sunday was just a different level. You know, the entertainment that every single athlete gave that crowd has had the messaging man beast and Matlock saying, I've never been to a strongman event before. This has got me hooked. And I think that's the difference, isn't it? It's a different audience up at Matlock. It's not your strength audience. It's just normal families that come along, watch that event, and they're hooked by it.
I think with the Highlands, it's at normal comps, you're full of friends and family. But at Highlands, it's families that nobody knows. And they're genuinely cheering you on. Now, about an hour ago, I was on YouTube and I watched 2017 Highland Games, walking with the bagpipes that can't do thunderstruck. And all back to black. They need a bit of AC/DC, them lads. But it showed you walking into the crowd. And the crowd from 2017 compared to Sunday, it's not a patch. Sunday was about 10 deep. It was just amazing walking through that many people, and they're all cheering you on, and photos with them.
No, it's great. I think that's at the end, isn't it? We always put the tug of war in with kids. They love that. And then when we just say, and it's down to you guys as well for giving your time up as well after, you've just been through a major comp and you're quite happy having pictures taken. There's photos all over Facebook and Instagram of people's little boys and little daughters having pictures with Chloe and you, and Jimmy Sharp getting every photo he can. Sorry, Jimmy. We're just a lot with you if you watch this. But joking aside, all the guys, are accessible out there, and people absolutely love it, don't they?
Well, how I see it is, you say that it's our time that we've given up for these, but it's their time that they've travelled down. They've paid good money to come in. They're paying money constantly throughout the day to the vendors, and they've sat for hours on end to see us. I don't know that one. Shut up, yo. And damn right, we should, at the end, spend a little bit of our time to give back to them. And the woman that were trying to bring me up to top end for strongman beers was saying to him, "Oh no, I've got to get him up there." And it's like, no, more pictures. Come on, I'm famous now. Come on.
You are.
And I don't see. They could queue up for ages and not be able to see anybody, or we could just stop and spend a little time for us. We get excited having those pictures taken and talking and the appreciation. So do they. They love it. So why can't we give back to them? And that's the best thing about Highland Games.
Yeah, absolutely agree with that. And I think out of an Ultimate Strongman and a Giants live show, I think this is probably one of the biggest shows apart from those two out there. And I think for regional guys and grassroots guys and people that are not world level, obviously, or even national level, get to experience that as athletes as well, don't they? Get to experience a big crowd that backs them, wants the photo with them, and all that stuff that normally takes place in a car park in front of maybe 20 people at some comps, and Matlock, it generates that excitement, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I think now that with your platform on Manbeast giving us YouTube time, you don't have to be sending small videos that are like taken on a potato. You've got that many different videos and pictures taken from professionals that are all put up on the site. So my grandma that's down country, she can watch it in good quality anytime that she wants. Or you just give YouTube to your child and say, "Watch Daddy," and then your views are through the roof.
Absolutely, and I gave a shout out, and you know him well as well. Strongman, Steve Strongman fan. Travels up and down the country. I did give him a little note on the PA as well. Takes some of the most amazing photos as well of every competition. Gives up his own time, spends all day there. And Jack and Richard as well, the loaders, Richard Hiley and Jack Tipper again. They all joined together as a team to make that that event run smoothly and quick turnover between events. So there's a lot of people involved in it trying to make it work.
Yeah, and we do thank every one of them for turning up and doing it, and just an amazing day.
And just to finish up on as well, something that I've learned with you, because me and you have a laugh, Dave, and you never know what you're going to get with you sometimes because you're full of banter and laugh. But when we were speaking on the interview last time, it really struck a chord with me when you were telling me about the strategy of pulling trucks and vehicles and stuff, and it stuck with me when you were saying about dragging a frame across a haulage yard and the fact there's loads of friction, so every time your foot's off the floor you've got to keep powering through. So it came to me of how much of a thinker you are with these sort of events as well, which you don't really realize when I see you compete, because we'll chat but we don't get to in-depth chat. As when I've chatted with you on these YouTube videos and stuff, you've shown a different side to me, and I've thought, Dave, he just I didn't even think of that in terms of the tactics or how to train for a vehicle pull. And I dare say that could cross over to some of the other things, couldn't it? Caber toss or other things that you're learning on the job with the Dinny stones. You might now know, next time you ever go home, you're going to be more experienced, aren't you, on where you want them positioned and the lift and all the strategy behind it.
Matt, I went Dinny's. Full stop.
But there's a record there to be broken, isn't there, Dave? And that might stand quite a while. I mean, the 108 stood for two or 3 years. Paul Smith tried to beat it a couple of years ago and got 1:04, so didn't break it. Then Matt Cole comes, gets 110, and then you smash it out of the water with 113. A couple of seconds doesn't sound a lot. It is. That's a massive 3 seconds, a massive margin. 5 seconds on the 108 record. So Scott's got something to train for now, and you've set the bar.
Do you know, I reckon I could have held it for a hell of a lot longer. I chose to put it down for 2 reasons, right? First reason, I'd beat it. And second reason, say for instance, I got 1:40 seconds. That is a big target. And how many people are going to get to a point and say, what's the point of trying? We'll just get second place. Because it's too much, it's a lot taxing on the body, and go, it's not worth it. End of the day, bicep could go. Or if you leave it at 1:13, it's just that little bit of edge, for somebody to go, I could get that. And then everybody's fighting for it then, and we have a better competition.
See, Dave, that's what I'm saying about strategy. So there's that running through your head as well. So it set the bar, possibly beatable. I don't know, but I said that about the 108. Who knows? But at the same time, it's something to strive for, and there's something to be said about you preserving your own body as well. In there, yes, you could have gone 140, but could you be potentially talking a bicep tear, something that takes you out and affects you for months after the competition? Is it worth that when you've already won it?
It's not, and we haven't really touched on it, but with all the time that we've not exactly had out from COVID, from the gym time and stuff, we've not exactly been training at full extent, putting us bodies, tendons, muscles into the same stress positions. So when we come to do something like the Dinny, which could twist a muscle or whatever it wants to do to your body, I know you looked at side when I says twist the muscle.
Well, I didn't. My battery powers just literally said that I'm going to run out of battery anytime, so I'm just conscious of that. That's what I looked at.
Well, time says 1 hour 33 minutes, go.
So anyway, we'll wrap it up now. See, all my battery's going. But it has been great speaking to you, Dave. And once again, on behalf of the crowd and all the Man Beast team and the competitors, and I know they think that were a well-deserved victory, and I'm really pleased for you that you got it and carried that title.
I know. It's a good reason to celebrate, isn't it?
Well, you never know. We might have to have a meal at Cosmos at Christmas again. Shout it on us.
Oh, I went out looking for a celebration like trophy type thing, like at WWE where they got a belt.
Yeah.
I could put it above my plinth.
Yeah.
But Max bought me this today, right? My son Max Thornton. He bought me this. Can you see it?
Ah, yeah.
I'm ruler.
You know, that's a good idea, Dave. Instead of a trophy, we could have like a WWE belt that then the previous winner walks into the Matlock Arena or wherever it is with the belt around the waist. The title. That sounds brilliant. I like the sound of that. A weightlifting belt with a big gold bling on front.
Oh, hang on a sec. Can you see these?
Yeah. Oh.
This is a shout out to my wife, Emily Thornton. Look what I got.
Look at that. Should be jealous of that. I could do with some of them. And with that nice abrupt end with the interview with Dave Thornton, on behalf of Manby Strongman Events, all the competitors and the crowd, that's a big congratulations for the new Peak District Highland Game Champion 2021. Thank you for watching.